Hello, Taurus. Welcome to your May Soul session. I'm Princess India. If you're new, okay. And if you're family, welcome back, my friend, and what's not, or whatever. And if you're not familiar with what my soul sessions are, they are your spirituality as well as personal development readings, my friend. Okay, your spirituality and personal development readings in which we look at the energies that you guys may face for a given month for the sole purpose of giving you some clarity, some insight, some guidance, and all that other kind of good stuff. You know what I'm saying? So anywho, I noticed that my thingamajig is lagging. First card out that we have is the Six of Pentacles and the reverse. Then we have the Four of Pentacles and the Two of Cups in reverse. Happy solar return, by the way. Happy birthday to all my fellow Taurians out there. My birthday is on the 9th, by the way, just throwing it out there. Anywho, but with the Six of Pentacles in the reverse, starting us out, coming out of April into May. First thing that comes to mind for me, Taurus, is getting the raw, is it the raw end, short end? The short end of the stick is the first thing that comes to mind. It's more or less there being a lack thereof of reciprocity and partnerships and connections, relationships, and things of the sort. And feeling as if you're always giving yet never receiving, which is interesting to be paired with the Four of Pentacles after that. But what it's kind of looking like, and if we were to put this in more practical, mundane terminology, we would more or less be saying this is about money, in the sense that it's coming into the month feeling as if money has been slipping through your fingers, and is more or less making the decision to start to kind of pull back the reins on your spending, if you will, Taurus, or it's borrowing, not borrowing, but loaning a lot of money to people and never getting paid back, and making the decision to start kind of holding back. But the irony of this is, with this Two of Cups and the reverse being here, this is more or less speaking to what you guys are experiencing, being an external, and this is going to get real weird, being like an external manifestation of one's inner state, right? I talked about this with another sign last month, but it's more or less, it gets real metaphysical and esoteric and things of the sort, but it's almost in one's giving, right? And this would be a subconscious kind of process. So in one's giving to other people, or being there for other people, being a support system for other people, listening to other people, loaning money to other people, rescuing other people, whatever the case may be, being strong for other people. All of these things are like a projection, if you will. So the imbalance is, one is looking for what one is either consciously or subconsciously unaware is lacking within themselves. And the act of being giving, right, is more or less trying to compensate for what one feels is missing. Okay. Now I know that's a loaded statement. Okay. In your birthday month is a loaded statement. But I feel mostly also because Mercury is going retrograde this month. I forgot what day. I need to look in the Wokebook. I'll do that later. But Mercury is going retrograde in Gemini. And of course, we know Gemini is a sign of duality. So we talk about duality in the didactic sense of all of humanity in the 3D realm, masculine and feminine, all that good stuff, right? What this is saying is, in any area of your life, whether it's with your finances or just in your connections with people, or your care for other people, the lack thereof of reciprocity is manifesting externally, but it's starting within, is what it is that I'm seeing with this Two of Cups here. So the natural inclination or thought, Taurus, would be to hold back, right? People take me for granted. Right? I'm saying this hypothetically, not saying people take me for granted. I hope no one takes me for granted. But anyway, but it's thinking in a sense of like, okay, people take me for granted. I'm always there for them. I always loan everybody money. Ain't nobody gonna loan me no money when I need money, type of deal, right? And the next thought is to hold back, right? But even in the event if one did that, and this feels kind of pathological to me in the sense that this is like kind of a place you guys have been to before, And the solution that one usually goes to is the thought of not giving as much, right? So people would appreciate what it is that they're taking for granted, right? Regardless of what it is. However, what's being highlighted here is the fact that holding back is just going to create another imbalance, if that's making sense. So this is a revolutionary act here because it's asking you guys to step into a state of being you may not have been in before, because it may be, if we looked at it as like the Likert scale, on one side, you're extremely overgiving. So you give. you support, rescue. But then on the other side of the Likert scale is not doing any of those things. And I feel just with these first 3 cards that's coming out for you guys in the month of May, that a lot of the lessons and realizations you guys are going to come to, especially if you do a solar return review, which is something I like to do for myself. I do like a timeline of my life from my birthday this year all the way to my birthday last year. I look at where I was my birthday last year, what I was doing, who I was friends with, like what my goals were, aspirations, what have you. And I kind of do a timeline up until now and just kind of compare apples to kind of see like where, I still need to grow, or what goals kind of got lost in the wayside, what I've accomplished since then, what I have failed at, what have you. And I use that to create a new plan, because you guys who know me know that I look at solar returns kind of like your very own New Year's Eve, if you will. So this would be a great time, especially with the retrograde this month. This would be a perfect month to really start to look at, these things.
Hey there, Subby. Princess India here. Sorry to, interrupt your soul session and me talking to you and with me talking to you again. But anywho, the reason why I'm sticking this cutaway into your soul session is because I wanted to tell you guys that I'm offering all of my subbies a free trial on my network. If you don't know what my network is, it is a social network that I built to help people find their tribe. And then we have a bunch of tribes over there, like Yoga Tribe, Finance Tribe. We have Starseed Tribe and things, you know what I'm saying? We do events. We do a whole bunch of stuff, But I wanted to offer you guys a free trial. The link is in the description box below. So feel free to check it out, my friend. It's no commitment. You don't have to join, but I just wanted to give everyone an opportunity to check it out. The link is in the description box below. Grab your free trial, my friend, and meet me over there. I'm going to be quiet now and let you get back to your reading and stuff. So I'm not going to say bye because it's just going to be me again. So I'm going to.
In your life that you feel you're putting a lot into, but you aren't getting back. And the solution is not going to lie in just cutting that off, right? Because I get this sense here. It's almost like a desire of wanting to go to the next level or the next stage, or be in a different place, state, situation, what have you. Just a desire for things to be different. And I believe it could be a misconception that if you just leave this job or this relationship or, this friendship or, whatever the case may be, if you just leave behind what you feel is imbalanced or is robbing you, because you're putting more than you're getting back, it's the thought that if you cut ties with that, you're going to find a sense of stability and balance. And these cards would be saying to me that that's not the case, because all of this is the byproduct of an imbalance that exists within Taurus in some area of your life, which would be the most simplest way that I could put this, would be if we used money, right? It's like, you feel like you're spending a whole bunch of money, right? But this 2 of Cups in the reverse would be speaking to the why. You know what I mean? And we're not talking about like bills or car insurance or mortgages and things of the sort. But just like, if you spend a lot of money on food, and this is a little something I could throw out there for you that I'm doing for myself, is your bank statements. Like I printed out all my bank statements since January. Now, granted, I'm doing it for a slightly different reason, which does very much fall in alignment with this. It's because I felt that there was just money slipping through the cracks somewhere, right? And I was like, I know it's subscriptions. Like, I know I signed up for something somewhere that was like 3-day trial. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna delete it, and didn't. You know what I mean? So I have my bank statements, and I'm literally going through with colored highlighters, and I'm highlighting each thing, and like all the subscriptions that I have, the ones that I still want, it's like I'm gonna keep those in green. The ones I don't want, I'm gonna highlight those in pink, and I'm gonna get rid of them. You know what I'm saying? So as opposed to just like saying, okay, I'm gonna cancel Netflix, Hulu, like everything, like no more subscriptions, is more or less about coming to that balance of what it is that I'm spending money on and why, right? And that why would come from, if I have all of these subscriptions to Netflix and Hulu and things of the sort, why am I spending so much money on movie subscriptions? You know what I'm saying? So this is more or less like that self-inquiry portion of it. Is like, once you see hypothetically where all of your money, time, whatever it is we're talking about for you specifically is going, then it becomes a self-inquiry of why it is one feels so led to do that. It's like, am I watching movies all day? You know what I'm saying? Am I calling out of work to watch movies all day? And I know that's a silly example, but hopefully you can follow like the energy signature of that. So it's less about what's actually happening and just cutting it off cold turkey. This month is really going to be you guys tasking yourselves with digging deeper as to why that's a thing. Even if it's like, you realize like from your bank statements, you're spending a lot of money on food. You know what I'm saying? Look at when you're spending money on food, and meaning in the sense of not just, you know, oh, you work and you're really, really busy and you eat out every day. But I mean, it's like, are you emotional eating? You know what I'm saying? We're talking about getting deeper to things like that. Now, the next card that came out for you guys is the 10 of Cups in the reverse. So we're speaking of unfulfillment and unhappiness and the situation that you guys are presently in. Where you are, which would explain why one would be feeling robbed, right? Like you're putting in a lot into it and not getting it back, is because realistically, it's not where your heart is, you know? And this can go for a lot of things, Taurus. This could be even with giving to other people. Like this would be if, you know, you have a sibling that borrows money from you every month, right? And you give them money not because it's like out of the kindness of your heart, like, you know, it's just like, I could not fathom anything more than loaning money to my brother or sister, right? It's because you feel like you should, ought, or supposed to do that. Like, that's my brother, that's my sister. Yes, they need astronomical amounts of money every single month. And because I'm their sibling, I'm supposed to do that, right? But it's not a heart desire, right? It's like a responsibility. But that still comes to this being out of alignment with you and you feeling as if you're putting more into something than you're getting back. Now, what's important, if we speak universal law level, we live in a realm of reciprocity, right? So every single thing that we put into something in this world, in life in general, we're supposed to get something back, right? You cannot go into Target and get a whole bunch of groceries and then expect to not pay, because there has to be an exchange. You give currency for groceries, right? And so the same with everything else. So the same with connections and situations in your life. So this is speaking to a deep level of unhappiness, and it's more like a sense of settling, you know, for less than what it is you deserve or less than what it is that you desire. And I think what this is, Taurus, because it's like a whole vibe I'm seeing here. I don't even know what to call that. It's like how I'm seeing it is almost like I hate describing these things. It's like a line, right? Like if you were to look at it like a number line, and I'm seeing like a little energy ball, and it's like it's here, and then it's like it freaks out and goes like in the other direction. And that's really the vibe that I'm getting is, gosh, there's a word for this. It's not when you're triggered. It's a counseling word for this, and I cannot think of it. anyway, but what the whole sense of it is, it's kind of like after a person gets triggered, it's like that, almost like that fight or flight reaction, but it's like a flighty type of thing. So it's kind of like you open up a little bit and you do something, it doesn't work. And it's kind of like jetting off to what this Four of Pentacles represents, which is completely shutting down. Like, or even if we were to look at this as a love relationship, right? Well, not a relationship per se, but like dating. It's like going out on a date with a person, starting to date a person, it doesn't work out. And when it doesn't work out, you just stop dating altogether because of that one particular instance. You know what I'm saying? It's like a vibe like that I'm getting. And the whole message, again, sorry for being repetitive, my friend, but what Spirit is saying here overall, right? With this Two of Cups in the reverse, it's getting to the root of where this imbalance starts. And this actually, Taurus, those of y'all who are on the network and you're in the couture level, watch the weekly reading for, what's the dates? For the 25th through the 1st of May, because what I'm seeing here is a lot of what it is that I said in the weekly for the last week of April and like the first day of May. And I went into this like in depth where it's, I use this example of like trees, right? Like if you have an apple tree planted in your backyard and you don't like apples. So what you're doing is picking all of the apples off of the tree. And then next month there's apples again. And you get pissed and you pull all of the apples off of the tree. It's like the vibe I'm getting with this, it's like a temporary solution. You know what I'm saying? It's attacking the symptom, but not getting to the root of the problem. And the root of the problem would be the fact that there's an apple tree planted in your yard and you don't like apples. So it's like, instead of picking the apples off the tree, because the apple tree is going to be an apple tree and produce apples until oblivion, it's the thought of needing to dig up that tree entirely and get rid of it because you don't like apples, as opposed to expanding a lot of energy, picking apples off of an apple tree as if they're not going to grow back, if that makes sense. I hope that that makes sense. The next card that you guys have is the Hanged Man in the reverse. Ooh, child. That's Aquarius energy. And the first thing I heard with that is resistance. So here's the thing, Taurus. There's a transformation and a change that needs to happen. It's perfect timing for this because, like I said before, it's your solar return. But there's a resistance to a change here. And that resistance, if we went back to my apple tree analogy, that resistance would be to digging up the tree. Because it would kind of be like, if we're going back to this analogy, it would be, you know, I can't get rid of this. Like I freaking hate apples, right? I've never liked them, but it's like, I can't dig up the tree because if I dig up the tree and get rid of it, then I'm not going to have shade, right? I'm not going to have anything to do every Sunday because I spend every Sunday picking the apples off of the apple tree, even though I don't eat them because I hate apples. And then when people come over sometimes that like apples, they won't have apples to eat. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and then I don't even have time to dig up a tree. I don't know how to dig up no tree. You know what I'm saying? That's the resistance that I feel with that. So I feel with this is a deeper inner recess mindset kind of thing going on here. But this feels really deep, deep, deep. You know, it feels deep, deep, deep. And whenever something's deep like that, it's usually going to be like a core belief kind of thing. And we talked about that a lot last month, but I feel that this particular thing is acting as a block in your life. But I don't feel you guys necessarily see it that way because it's really like a chain reaction is how I'm seeing it, you know? And I have to use another hypothetical with this because, child, I just hope this is making sense, y'all. Literally, if we were to look at it like a seed that's planted, core belief would be synonymous with seed, right? And this seed that was planted when you were 5, right, in your subconscious, said that you're not good enough, right? Or that you're unlovable. So your entire life was spent being a good kid, straight A student, extremely athletic, getting scholarships to college, graduated from college, getting a really, really great job, marrying a really, really great partner. You know what I'm saying? And every time someone needs something from you, you do it, because your conditioning has never been about what you wanted or what made you happy. It was because of that feeling unlovable, or, you know, not feeling good enough. It was achieving love or acceptance through, you know, providing for other people. Now, this is all hypothetical, right? So your entire life, stop being about what you want, what you desire, what's going to make you happy, right? And it's this false self mask that one puts on of being the superhero and the provider for everyone else. So that's what your entire life has become. It's never been a question of what it is that you wanted. Now, you guys come to a place where you've been functioning with this mask for so long, in so many years of not having your needs met, right? That now it's like this month, you guys are coming to a place where you're doing something that you've done many times to try to get your power back, which is like cutting ties. It's like, these people take me for granted. They don't appreciate me. The people at this job don't see how good of a worker I am. I'm quitting this job. I'm breaking up with him. I'm breaking up with her. You know what I mean? Or, you know, I'm not going to be friends with them anymore, right? And now it's new job, new partner, new group of friends, you know? And then the same thing happens again, right? So I'm seeing an entire pattern here of people who resonate with this. At least I can't say every single Taurus in the world, but whoever resonates with this. But it's like I'm seeing a whole pattern that's been perpetuated over the course of a person's life. However, this is totally normal in the sense that these things are subconscious. So that seed, right, the real problem, created symptoms in this imbalance in your friendships, relationships, jobs, what have you, where you give a lot and you don't receive like equivalent to what it is that you're putting out, because it goes back to how it is that you show up. Follow me, Taurus. So because one feels not good enough, right? Because one feels unlovable, the way that one gets validation or gets acceptance is through overcompensating, right? Which means you go above and beyond without people having to ask for it. You know what I'm saying? So you'll pay a bill or whatever, like however it shows up in your life, but you overcompensate without having to ask, without other people having to ask for it. So that's already unequal, right? Because when we overcompensate, we're not just compensating, we're overcompensating, right? So the Tauruses that will resonate with this are overcompensating here. The basic level is like compensating here. And if you're dealing with people who are just, you know, narky and things of the sort, they down here somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And that's where there's an imbalance, right? Now, I feel the clarity that's coming is because what Taurus isn't seeing is that they're overcompensating. Now, mind you, this is hypothetical. This could be a myriad of different things in your life. Not saying that overcompensating is literally the Taurus thing, but this is just the energy vibration, an example to help you understand. But I feel what is going to be revealed to Taurus in the month of May is seeing this discrepancy in this Two of Cups in the reverse, right? Of the fact that this false core belief about oneself that, you know, unlovable, not good enough, made Taurus feel they had to overcompensate in order to get their needs met, right? Like to get attention, love, approval, affection, like the type of things that all human beings desire, right? Now that worked in childhood, you grow up into an adult. Now that becomes maladaptive, even though there's positive things that come from it, like, you know, good job, went to college, whatever, right? But in partnerships, it's always walking away feeling like one has been taken for granted because one existing like this for so long, overcompensating has become just seeming to be compensating or being a normal human being. You know what I'm saying? It's no longer seeing that Taurus's standard is here or how Taurus is behaving is here. You got baseline, and then you got people who are way down here, right? So it's always being in situations where one feels taken for granted. However, I feel the thing that's never been questioned here is what the 10 of Cups in the reverse represents, which is the fact that overcompensating never brought joy, peace, fulfillment, happiness, closure, or fulfillment in life, right? It's just a posture that Taurus took, or a mask that Taurus put on because of something that they, believed about themselves from way back when. And one has been acting out this pathology, right? But all the person would see in the present day is that people take advantage of me. People take me for granted, right? It's like people borrow money, they never pay me back. So now I'm shutting down. You know what I'm saying? I'm not opening up my heart. I'm not opening up my wallet. I'm not doing anything. But it's never dealing with the 2 of Cups in the reverse imbalance that's existing within, right? And that imbalance would be in the sense that one is believing things about themselves that aren't true, right? And behaving in accordance with them, thinking in accordance with them. And that this 2 of Cups in the reverse, this imbalance within, is really what created the imbalance without. Now, when people talk about the spiritual concept of your inner world being reflected into your outer world, that's what that looks like, right? Because it's a subconscious belief one has about themselves, and you're thinking and behaving in accordance with it. And it's like, and thus you create your life in the image of that mindset. You know what I'm saying? So I feel for Taurus this month, and I know this is a whole lot. It's very interesting for me. I mean, I feel it's beneficial because I always tell you guys to watch the sign for the zodiac season that we're in. So a lot of people can benefit from this. But overall, I feel that this month is a month to where this is revealed to Taurus, right? But there is, with this 4 of Pentacles and this Hangman in the reverse being underneath each other, there is a sense of resistance to it because even if it's like a masks in essence are defense mechanisms. And it's the thought of stripping away this thing that's kept you safe for so long. And it's the fear of, being in a space like that. Like, how does one protect themselves with that? So this is very like, there's a lot of levels to this. And like I said, look, y'all already know, last month, I literally was telling, and I'm so proud of all of my subscribers because so many people, because I found this out from BetterHelp, so many people signed up for therapy last month. I'm just over the moon ecstatic. Like, and I tell you guys that all the time. I have limited spaces of clients that I can actually see. That's why I partnered with them so that, people who can't see me, you can at least see somebody. You know what I'm saying? And it's convenient. The link is in the description box below. But I wanted to commend all of you guys who signed up for therapy last month because, oh my gosh, it just makes me so happy because that's the start of a journey that is so absolutely important and it's so pivotal in your life and in your growth. Like, it's the greatest gift that you can give to yourself. And I say that to say, I'm saying the same thing again. Whether you are a Taurus and this is your solar return, this is a great time to start therapy, my friend. But even if you're not and you're just watching this because you're being nosy, cross-watching or something, or if you're having another placement in your chart, a lot of the stuff that I'm seeing here, Taurus, this is stuff that, a self-help book isn't going to unearth. One session with me or one reading with me or, one session with me or with another therapist. This isn't something that's eradicated in one session. Like, this is something that creates a personal revolution and a personal transformation, specifically for my Taurus people. And this being your solar return and this being your own personal New Year's Eve, this is a awesome time, right? to start on a new path for the next year for yourself. I feel like you owe that to yourself. All of us do. So this is something that has to be like unpacked over time in the extended, because child, it's pressure on my chest, babe. But anywho, in the extended, I'm gonna go deeper into this and see what other insights I can pick up and just kind of advice and guidance for the rest of the month for you guys. But even if you don't go to the extended, I strongly suggest that with something like this, of seeing how it is that you're showing up, and I can even say like commending my network members too, because a lot of my members on my network, they started therapy last month, and they've been on the network like, because we have a little timeline, and just talking about like just epiphanies that they've had already of seeing how they've been showing up in their life, how they've been showing up in friendships and relationships and with other people, and just so many aha moments. Because I can say from my own personal experience, there's only so much work that we can do solo, and you need like that alternative, perspective to reflect back to you what you're putting out to help you have those epiphanies. So I would strongly suggest that, because this is one of those readings where I see the depth in this, and I see this isn't something that, you could just watch this reading and be like, bam, I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm telling everybody that's watching this, as I step off my soapbox, to consider getting a therapist this month, my friend. And we have the link to BetterHelp in the description box if you're interested. And let's see, I wanted to share this with you guys from the Wokebook. The overall theme, we have the MetaMath numbers for May, and May is a 10-month, which reduces to 1. The overall theme for May is an epic turnaround. Some are blessed, while others chastised. Both are temporary, as it rains on the just and the unjust in due season. The reflection question for the month is, what are you drawing into your life? So that's something you want to reflect on this month. And of course, little important dates. New moon in Taurus is on the 11th. And you want to reflect on, prior to you setting your intentions for the new moon in Taurus on the 11th, you want to reflect on the week of October 31st, 2020. That's been coming up a lot on the network, because if y'all remember the readings, like the readings that we had last month, and how I was saying like watch them before the 26th, go back and look at the October readings. You're gonna understand why I said that. Anywho, and you want to set intentions and goals for November 19th, 2021. And that's when we have the full moon in Taurus. Mercury retrograde pre-shadow phase starts on the 14th. Then we have the full moon in Sag. That's a lunar eclipse on the 26th. I think the new moon is a lunar eclipse too. You'll see manifestation from intentions that you set from the 14th of December last year. And Mercury goes into retrograde 24 degrees Gemini on the 29th of May. So I wanted to share those dates with my lovely people. But anywho, I love your freaking faces, Taurus. And I'm going over to the network to do you guys extended. So if you're about that life, follow me on over there, my friend. But if not, Princess still loves your face. You know what I'm saying? And I'll see you guys sooner than later.